Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and these are the market positions for April the 19th, 2011. Now our first position for tonight is going to be in the foreign exchange market, specifically the US Canadian pair. Now what we've got going here is we've got definitely a mixed signal. We've had numerous days where the market's been bumping up against the Vantage Point 18-day predicted moving average, and we can see today that we've had a sharp break above that level, which is the 96.52. Now we've closed right about on that line, so essentially what we're looking at for tomorrow is we've got 96.20, 96.18, and 96.52 is a mixture of support and resistance in this particular case. Now our predicted true strength indicator is in heavily oversold territory, and it's beginning to cross the trigger, so it appears that our downside is pretty limited for the time being. Our predicted MACD is coming off out of oversold territory, and it has crossed the trigger. Now it's a considerable distance from the zero line, so everything there looks quite good for a move higher. So what we'll be doing is looking for an opportunity to buy on a slight pullback. Now our predicted short, medium, and long-term differences are all pointing higher. Again, a very good indicator that we're getting ready for potentially somewhat of a excuse me, a bullish move. Now what we're going to do here is go into our daily report. We've done our, we've looked at these charts, the main chart, excuse me, and now what we're going to do is try and fine-tune this entry point. Now for tomorrow we have 95.95 as the predicted low and 96.80 as the predicted high. So we're going to be looking about the 95, 95, 96 area to get into our buy position. We can see that we're rolling over long from short, -6 to +5, -5 to positive 11, and -37 to -21. So we can see that the downward momentum is definitely losing strength. We've had 2 days down on the neural index. We now have the neural index up for Tuesday morning trade. Now everything again looks quite good, but this is very clearly, I want to point out, is counter trend. So again, you're going to need wider stops. In this particular case, I would have the stops below this line here that I've got drawn at the 95.15. So stops about the 94.90 is where I would put them just to be safe. We've got some mixed information coming out of the US with the downgrade from the S&P. That's not a big concern for me. I think that's just a lot of noise, to be perfectly honest. I don't think they're going to downgrade the US debt, but we'll see how that's a long way away. I would say about 2 years away, to be honest. So it's not a big concern to me right now, but the dollar is certainly getting hit from all sides. So again, counter trend, but still a decent looking position. Now looking at our short-term crossover, we can see that it's crossed to the upside, but basically flat. The medium term is crossing over to the upside, which coincides with the predicted MACD. However, the predicted long-term crossover from Vantage Point is not necessarily confirming a reversal here on this particular currency pair. So we definitely want to keep that in mind. So that's our first position for tonight. Now our second trade for tonight is going to be in May mini corn futures. Now this one's kind of interesting. I like the way this one's setting up. We can see that the predicted short, medium, and long-term differences are all mixed, but the medium-term difference is starting to turn flat, and the predicted short-term difference is turning up. We've come down, touched the 18-day predicted moving average at 735.1 today, just a little bit below that level. So we've closed at 751. There's a very good, in my opinion, a very good buying opportunity here. But again, it's a little bit mixed and it's a little bit toppy, but for a good intraday short to medium term trade, I think that there's a decent buy here. Now again, looking at our short-term crossovers to the downside, medium term is to the downside, but the long term again is not confirming this. So this is telling me that we've moved lower, we've had our little corrective move, and now we're getting ready for a move back to the upside. So once we've identified that we want to get into a long position, we then go into the daily report and have a look and see how things are setting up for tomorrow's trade, bearing in mind the triple EMA cross has crossed to the upside. Now again, this is what I like on this type of contract. You can see that we have 4 down days on the Neural Index. So we've had 4 pretty much straight down days. The Neural Index has now turned positive. That's exactly the kind of trade for a short, medium-term trade that we're looking for to catch this move. So a relatively shallow pullback for tomorrow of 741.6. That's where we're looking to get into our entry point. Target price on an intraday basis, 765. Now, again, there's a number of different things that are setting up nice. The Neural Index is simply a good confirming short-term indicator. Now, again, our long-term crossover is remaining net positive. It's saying that it's going to move higher. Now again, this is a good setup because you can see we have 735 as the 18-day predicted moving average, which is acting as a baseline support. We've come down here, we've had the red candle, we've come down, touched that, and the candle has turned green. We've had a good positive close. So everything here is setting up for mini corn and probably the regular corn contracts also to start pushing higher tomorrow after a very modest pullback tomorrow. So when it makes that little bit of a pullback, we're going to use that to get into our long position. So those are the market positions for April the 19th, 2011. And again, my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com.